All right, guys. It's another Thursday night. Can you believe it? It's another Thursday. This is insane. I feel like, again, the weeks are going by incredibly fast. And I haven't decided if I'm here for it or not. So, anyways, okay. So, administrative things are taken care of. It is another Thursday night, 8 o'clock, to talk about all things Greenville. And I don't know, we'll see what else we get into. We'll talk about real estate. We'll talk about some of the current events that are happening, and we will go from there. So, welcome to the Greenville GAB. And as you know, I am Aubree, and we have had a busy week. I've had a busy couple of weeks, actually. And it's like, wait, what are we going to talk about tonight? Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about real estate. I'm going to talk about the spring market. And I don't know about you, but if you haven't heard about the wildfires that are going on in South Carolina, Western North Carolina, we need to talk about the night tonight. So we're going to talk about those things. But if you are just joining us, whether you are joining us from YouTube or Facebook, or maybe you're watching or listening to a replay day after, that's cool too. Do me a favor, go in the comments, let me know, where are you watching from? Because that's always cool. We like to know where people are checking in from, different parts of the country. And it's because, yeah, we are a community and we love to, do life together, because if we don't do life together, everybody gets a little bored. So with that, all right, here we go. So this week has been, I feel like I've barely slept and I've worked more than I've been asleep or just doing life. And it's been a lot. I know that I've been saying this since about the last week of January that we're in the spring market. Well, here we go. We are in the spring market and it is so busy. We have had more people coming in from California, coming in from Arizona. We've got people from Florida, New York, everybody starting to make their way in here to the upstate. And I'm here for it because I think I'm pretty biased to this area. So I know many of you are planning your trips, or maybe you've already had your trip, or maybe even you're like, well, I mean, we're a little far out here, so I don't know. I talked to somebody today that is actually planning a trip in July, and we put a coffee date on the calendar. So there is that. So let's go over here to the comments. Let's see who we've got. Hey, Susan, are you drinking a glass of wine with me tonight? Because tonight I'm drinking a Pinot Noir. Totally forget the name of the wine. I should remember that for these. But a Pinot is my favorite type of wine. That or a Cava. I know we're just kind of squirreling a little bit, but if you're drinking wine, let me know what you're drinking, because I'm just curious and I love to learn about it. Like to see what people drink. John, hey, how's it going, my friend? New Jersey in the house. Hey, Scott, how's it going from Bar Harbor, Maine? Jeez, I don't know. When I think of Maine, I think of its very mild temperature or how cold it gets. I guess it depends on where you live in Maine. Eric, hey, how's it going, my friend? Susan, yes, you are over there in Washington State. All right, Michael, here you go. Michael's over here in the comments saying, do I even get a chance to get bored? I try really hard to be bored on Sundays. Sunday afternoons are my time to be bored. I think it's important. So let's see here. Hey, hi. Austin, Texas, and soon to be my neighbors, because I live in TR as well. And that is just around the corner. So exciting. Hey, Mark, how's it going? I talked to Mark earlier today, actually, guys. He's cool. Let's see here. Paige, Southwest Florida, how's it going? All right. Oh, geez. Oh, Susan. Oh, geez. Okay. California native but moved to Spokane, Washington. Oh, geez. Of course, this side of the country, it's just pretty awesome. There's so much to do. Oh, love this. Hey, Diane, how's it going? Diane and Paul, nice to see you. Let's see here. There's Thomas watching from Powdersville. How's it going, my friend? My friend Matthew. Hey, hi, thank you. All right, so as we are hopping in here tonight, of course, we have all sorts of things to talk about. Maybe a little bit of a hot button topic as far as what has been showing up in the news. But of course, before we go into that, I wanted to let's dive in. Let's go and talk about some of the real estate market, or why have I not been able to be bored in the last couple of weeks, or just the last couple of days. They've been extremely long days. I'm talking text messages and emails starting at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and we're working until probably close to 10, 11 o'clock at night, sending emails, negotiating your offers, and I don't know, just doing something that we love. So without further ado, we're going to look at some of the real estate stuff. Then we're going to talk about the fires, because I have a very interesting vantage point just based upon where I live. And I've never experienced anything like it in my lifetime. I know that you guys that live out on the West Coast have definitely experienced wildfires, forest fires, and maybe you can go into the comments and offer us some tips, because we've got a pretty crazy fire happening here. But we're going to talk about that in a second, because just to me, it's a little depressing and scary. I'm okay. My anxiety's not high about it, but I have friends of mine that definitely have higher anxiety around this, just because we haven't experienced it. So let's go into some of the real estate world, because we'll talk about that first, and stick with me because we're going to do that. And if you are watching on any type of larger screen, an iPad, a computer, or your TV, if you see, let's see if I can point it. This over here, this right here, this QR code is something that throughout this live stream, if you have any questions or you want to reach out to me and the team, we would love to answer your questions personally. And that is just a quick way that you can go ahead and offer in, I don't know, like you can come say hi. So, all right, without further ado, I'm going to share computer screens, and I totally didn't set that up tonight. So instead, here we go. This is what we look at every week. I want to keep you up to date on the Greenville MLS stats as we see them and what is coming in. So this was updated March 10th, and we are seeing down in units, down in volume, up in the average price, and then look at our average days on market. So this has been something that I have been following so close, because it is something that, story time, when we put houses on the market and they don't get showings right away, or they don't sell within that first weekend, I just, like the instant gratification that I want so much is not happening because I'm a millennial and I like instant gratification, and that is what we do. So when we are putting houses on the market and I am seeing the real estate market change, it's hard. And it's really something that I'm looking at you guys, I'm looking at my clients saying, hey, trust me, like I know what's going on. This is something that I'm feeling on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis. And it's not something that I'm like, oh, I did a deal like 2 months ago and this is what the market was like, or I did another transaction 3 weeks ago and this is what I'm feeling, or this is what I'm seeing. No, like this is a day to day, every other day, writing contracts, receiving contracts, talking to realtors around the upstate about what's happening in our market, and paying attention to the details is so incredibly important. So I know that it's important. So being able to look at this again, and I'm going to blow it up just a little bit. Yeah. So looking at this, our market is definitely slowing down. Our pendings, let's see here. So we've got inventory that is up. We have days on market that is up. And then we have our average price point is up. I mean, I want you to look at this number here. 2024 over 2025, up. Average price here is up 6.9%. And if you like the numbers, like I like the numbers, they tell a story. They tell the history. This is the closest thing that I can give you to a crystal ball of what's happening. Because these are some lagging indicators of, hey, this is what's happened and what are we doing? And here's what I can tell you. The realtors in our market that are like on top of it, they are doing the work. They are helping people buy and sell houses. They know. And I've run across more realtors here just in the last 2 to 3 weeks that absolutely have no clue. And maybe I'm talking too candidly about it, but whenever we see more inventory hitting the market, prices going up, days on market is going up as well. I mean, over last year, we're up 16.4% in our solds for days on market. Our average days on market for 2024 was 50 days. Now we're already up to 64. I'm wondering where we're going to land. I think we're probably going to land right here in this 75 to 90 day deal. And somebody's calling me very late. Let's see here. Because we're going to make that go away. All right. So, but this is something that we watch our numbers and we watch our inventory. Now, something that I know that is definitely skewing our inventory greatly is new construction. Now, we know that over a third of our market right now here in the Greenville upstate is new construction. Now, for you guys that are going to freak out a little bit, or you're not freaking out, you're just saying, oh no, the development, is it bad? Is it going to be too much? No, like this is such a good thing. It does make reselling a house hard because you're competing a lot of times with that new construction. But let me tell you, during COVID years, prior to COVID years in real estate, it was, how do I say this? Like, it was just harder. We ended up with homes that did not appreciate necessarily, but there wasn't enough houses necessarily on the market for the amount of buyers. So we are still seeing prices increase. It has slowed. Now, I think if you bought your house in 2021, 2022, yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a harder time around this. But it's something that real estate market, like right now, we have more people coming in between myself and Christy on the team. Like we set 29 appointments in the month of March, just for new buyers and sellers. 29. That's at least one appointment a day, if not more. And we are going, okay, like the market is up and going. And not everybody's buying or selling a house right now, guys. We set those appointments and everybody is out for the next year or two. And that's cool. We talk to a lot of people before they're even ready to make that move. But even this week, I helped somebody who I was talking to back in 2023 about moving, and they just now put a house under contract here because they just got their house sold in another state. So it's definitely like it's ever changing. It's moving. We're seeing prices go up. We're seeing interest rates kind of level back out. I'm going to have Brian back on here on the shows to talk to us about second quarter interest rates and financing. But also, I would say half of you guys come in and you purchase with cash. That's okay too. There's a lot of equity in homes right now. So it makes sense. A lot of people are coming in and being able to buy. And so it's fun. It's being able to pay attention to the market, and you like being busy is not necessarily a bad thing. We know what's happening. So, all right, let's come over here to the comments. I see a couple people dropping some questions. That is something that we do on this show is you can ask your questions live, and I will do my best to answer them. If I don't know, then I'll tell you and make sure that you talk to the right person. Okay, let's see here. Oh, something in my eye. Let's go. Let's see here. Susan. Ooh, okay. Love this opinion. He thinks prices are going to drop, and you think that they are only going to go up. Yes, I definitely have an opinion here. And I think you're both kind of right, because one, we are seeing prices adjust, but we're not seeing them adjust, say, in home prices, like homes going on the market at a lower price necessarily. We're seeing them go on at a market price, and then we're negotiating down, or we are negotiating seller concessions into that price. So for example, I put an offer in tonight for $465,000, and we asked for $10,000 in closing costs. So it's definitely something that I think we need to pay attention to. But specifically in Greenville's a little bit of an insulated market because we have a lot of different industry here. We have a lot of different jobs. So our housing market stays really strong. And I'm looking at prices continuing to either level out or go up. Personally, that's what I'm seeing, but the appreciation is only happening at 3 to 4%, which is pretty normal year over year for our market. And if you look at it, that's why they say the innocuous says to live in your house at least 2 years. One, so you don't have to pay capital gains, but two, then your house has the ability to appreciate to where you hopefully can still break even if you go to resell. So there's my quick thoughts. Let's see here. Oh, that's an interesting question. Able to slice the data so I can see which areas are longer or shorter days on market. And specifically the paperwork that I have right here, no, but I do that manually in the multiple listing service and can tell you, hey, like I've got a listing right now that is out in the Blue Ridge mountain areas, but it's in Taylor's and it's right next to Greer, but it's further out. It's like Lake Robinson is where these are, and nothing is moving. Like it's so slow, But if you go in towards Travelers Rest, or if you go in towards some of the more popular areas, average days on market goes down, prices go up. It's been really interesting to follow, mildly frustrating as well. Hashtag, I have a house in Greer if you want to buy it. Less than 400,000, let's go. And it's great. But no, I wish I could slice that apart a little bit easier. Hey, Paul, how's it going? What? Snow? At this time of the year? No way. Let's see here. Yes, Michael, second quarter is in just a couple of days. I know. The first quarter, first 3 months of the year absolutely flew by. It's insane. John, I am very excited, and we are going at least out for lunch or something like that, please. Hunter Quinn. Okay, so Hunter Quinn actually right now is not in Travelers Rest. I will have to ask though. I've got a contact that works there. We videoed there. I think the video we just put out this past weekend was Hunter Quinn. And I would love to see a Hunter Quinn in Travelers Rest. I have no idea what they would price them at. But they tend to be pretty nice, like market value homes for new construction, and they're semi custom too, which I think is great. Oh, dude, no. Snow on Mother's Day? Nope. Wow, you don't. That's insane. That's crazy. No, I'm just not here for that. It's supposed to be summertime. It's supposed to be getting rain. Man, asking great questions tonight here. Do buyers pay realtor commissions in South Carolina, or are sellers paying those, or do they split them? This is a really good question, y'all, and I'm going to give you maybe an answer that you are expecting, maybe not, but let's go for some education, okay? So when we talk about realtor commission, everything is negotiable. There is no standard of real estate commission, and there is no standard for who pays and who doesn't pay, because everything is negotiable. When you come and you talk to me as a realtor, we sit down before we ever go out and look at houses, and we talk about what this looks like. So, for example, I charge a commission rate, just like, and I hate to compare myself to some of the other industries that charge a commission rate, but let's say, I don't know, for example's sake, attorneys charge a per hour. I could do the same, but you would pay me too much money then. So here in South Carolina, and this is how it has always been, is my agreement is between me and my buyer. Now, it is my responsibility then to go and negotiate for that in a transaction. And I have an agreement with you as my client for my rate. And I go and negotiate that. I'm doing it right now. And I have an amount that I believe is appropriate for the work that I do. Now, will the seller pay that? Probably. And we negotiate that in. But then at the same time too, if they say no, or maybe they don't cover the entire amount and we can't get the entire amount covered, then I go back to the buyer, you as my client, and say, hey, like, we've talked about this. Here's part of our negotiation. It's all part of a negotiation. Now, at the end of the day, it comes down to a win-win situation. If it's not a win-win situation, why are we doing it? Because the most important thing is to represent you, but I can't work for $0. I also can't work for a very small amount. There's builders in the upstate there that offer like $1,000 to a realtor, a $2,500 fee to a realtor on a $600,000 house. And I mean, you want to see me get paid. So, and I want to see you get a great house. So, that's a quick commission conversation without like getting too in the weeds of it. The biggest thing here is we sit down, we have an agreement together, and then I also negotiate that with the seller, and I negotiate with you too. All right. So let's see here. What else? Oh, Susan. Del Webb. This is, I've seen this everywhere. Del Webb is a 55 plus community that is coming. I drove by it yesterday. So here's what I can tell you. Their VIP list has started up. You can go and apply for it. I can apply for it as well for you. And the community is cleared. The roads are in. They haven't started going vertical yet on anything. So it's definitely just part of it that I'm waiting for it, and it's probably going to sell out really fast. So if you're really interested in the Del Webb community, there is only one right now. We'll see if we get any more. And I'm excited to see it come. Let's see here. Oh, John, we're still talking about snow. Why are we talking about snow? Oh, geez. 26 years ago today, there was a huge snowstorm here in New Jersey on your honeymoon. Happy anniversary, my friend. Oh, that's great. You're very, very, like what, a couple days ago? Anyways, okay. Let's see here. Cynthia's got a question for us. Oh, this is great. So what do I think about the Taylor's Blue Ridge Plantation area? Is it a safe area? And is it a good investment area for holding values? Okay. Oh, okay. One, we've got to, guys, in the comments, wish John a happy anniversary. 26 years. That's awesome. Okay, Cynthia, back to your question though. So I actually we're going to completely hijack what's going on right now. Let's show it off. I've got a listing in Blue Ridge Plantation that I think would be a fantastic investment, but we might as well show it off. Let's go. Ta-da-da. So this house is in the Meadows at Blue Ridge. I think that area is wonderful. It's a really nice community. It does hold its value, and it's huge. It's a massive neighborhood. And houses in that neighborhood right now are anywhere from $350 to $450. This house right here is pretty typical of the style of houses that are in there. And this one's actually for sale right now. So if you see it or if you're looking for it, it's listed right now at $398,900. And somebody asked me a good question today too about these houses and how old of a house should they buy or not buy. And this was a really good just example of houses are built differently now than they were 10 to 20 years ago. This house was built 10 to 20 years ago and nothing is cracked. None of the floors creak. Everything has been kept up. And the neighborhood itself, this house is on a cul-de-sac, it's really nice to see something established without, I don't know, everything has a little bit more character. So the Blue Ridge Plantation neighborhood area is actually pretty great. And I don't know, I think it's nice because if you're not wanting that cookie cutter style house, I would say that's something we need to probably look at is some of the older neighborhoods. And I do think that it's a good investment. So anyways, with that, let's keep going. Jake has a question for us. Okay. Do I know where Second Pres is? And that would be your church home if you moved to Greenville. Got it. Off the top of my head, no, I don't. Well, I do know where Greenville Pres is. There's a couple different big Presbyterian churches in and around Greenville. So that's it. I just need an address and then we get to work. So yeah, I'd have to look it up. I'm sure Google could be my friend on that. So let's keep going here. Oh, this is a nice one too. Is Gaffney a good area to live in? From Florida and you're looking to retire in South Carolina. So quick thoughts about Gaffney. Yes, it's nice because you're actually closer to North Carolina and it's a little further out. I've heard more and more people moving to Gaffney. I don't get out there very often, but I don't know. Like I've got some different ideas. I would want to talk to somebody that lives there a little bit more. I haven't heard anything bad. I also haven't heard that it's not safe or anything like that. I've helped some people buy houses in Gaffney. So, let's see here. John, Catholic churches. I'm going to have to be real honest with you here. I'm a good old Southern Baptist and I don't know. So let me look. I do know that there's a few Catholic churches around though, for sure. John, yes. Cool. All right. So, without further ado, we have chatted all up and down around real estate things. And please, by all means, keep putting your questions in the comments. I love answering them because it also gives us ideas for what to make videos about in the future. So I've got a couple different things to chat about, and let's see here. So I'm sure you guys have, I think it's hit the news. I don't know if it's hit national news. It's a pretty big deal around here though, because we're looking at a fire, and this fire is not just a little thing. It is something that it is actually a pretty big impact here. So Table Rock fire and the persimmon fire there. So those are definitely something that we are watching, and we want to, I don't know, let me tell you what happened yesterday. So for the first time ever, I actually, I was driving home to, let's see here. I was driving home to TR and got out. I had a meeting downtown TR, and I was like, why does it look like it's flurrying? And it was ash. And these fires, as of right now, are, I don't know, the articles that I've been reading and seeing in the news say that it's still 0% contained. The Table Rock fire was started by some teenage boys that were being dumb, and now it's a huge deal. And these fires, like they're far enough away from some of the more densely populated areas that's good. But at the same time, there's a lot of farms. Like we're talking Western North Carolina, Western Carolinas. Let's just call it that at this point. So if you remember, we had a hurricane that came through and it knocked down a lot of trees back in September, October. Well, what happens whenever trees get knocked down and then nothing happens to them? They dry out and they die and they become kindling. So right now when I drive home, so we live up here in Travelers Rest, almost Marietta, There are some mandatory evacuations. They started out as voluntary. Now there's mandatory. And it's interesting. I go through and I look at the evacuations and where they're evacuating because they specifically list out roads. And I'm like, okay, where, Aubree, remember where your clients live. Because I help people buy houses out there. I've driven all over this area, not just for real estate, but to go visit Table Rock and go visit some of my friends that live out in this area. And so it's definitely a little scary, but at the same time, for it to get really down into some of the densely populated areas, something really bad would have to go on. So according to the weather, we are supposed to get some good rain this weekend. We'll see if that's enough to kick it. But these two wildfires that are happening, my husband actually just yesterday, he left work a little bit early, went and we have a horse trailer, and he went and rescued some pigs that needed to be moved. And then today, one of our friends also was going with her trailer. And this is some feedback that I've heard specifically about this area. And I think this is really good local feedback for you guys that that don't know anything about this area. So here's the thing. The Carolinas are different. Like when we interview people around town, when we talk to locals, and that's my plan as we move forward through the rest of 2025 to talk to even more people who are local here. People are kind, and it doesn't matter that I don't know you. If you need help, I'm going to offer it. We saw that firsthand back in September whenever the hurricane came through and there were so many people without power and everybody was running on generators and so on for days, if not some people for weeks, is people help each other. There's a sense of community here that is not anywhere else I've ever lived. And for my people that are relocating from out of state, it's feedback that I hear from them as well. Like they don't experience the type of community that is the South. And I mean, our brokerage is looking for water donations and looking for ways to help and ways to give back. There are evacuation hubs, like places for people to go. But yesterday was really bad for smoke. And I mean, I went all the way from Piedmont, South Carolina, which again, let's go to the map just so that you guys know where I'm talking about. And I enjoy more the, my MLS map because it just helps me. You can see the roads a little bit better. So I drove all the way from Piedmont down here, all the way up to Lyman. And this was a haul, but we kind of went around this way and we stayed to the south of Greenville. And as I was driving around yesterday, I really didn't notice too much. You could kind of see it off here in the distance. And then we took our time, but we came back down. This is Wade Hampton Boulevard right here, or Highway 29. And we drove all the way from right here, Greer downtown, down 29, back here into Greenville where this red X is. Now, the fires are happening here in Table Rock, and then Persimmon Ridge is kind of over here. And I mean, I've got friends in Cleveland, Punkintown, Sunset, all the way out here in Salem as well. And so I get it. People are scared, but they're not coming down into like Taylor's. down over here. If something happens, it's probably end times and we need to have a bigger conversation. But these fires here, they are a little scary. They are devastating. Absolutely. I think I read there's like 150 firefighters out there right now. And with my husband being in public service as well, this is something what like we hear about. We know people that are being evacuated, and we know that this is a really big thing. We need rain. So it's something that everybody's watching the weathercast and seeing what's happening there. But this is like it's quite a ways outside of Greenville, but we're getting the smoke. We're seeing ash falling, so on, and it's a little scary. So this is just, I was looking at the Greenville news. This is something that is being kept updated, pretty live here. And I mean, Pumpkin Town General Store. This is something that, I mean, I've driven by this many times. Then Pickens County, many different places of Pickens County are being evacuated. They just aren't sure where it's going. Here's a fun list too that I saw. If you are looking and you want to give back, or you are looking to send anything, or honestly, like these are the things that they are looking for. Our brokerage specifically has been getting balls of water. This is all like, just think about, they're out there in the woods, basically. I've had some friends that worked in the forest fire industry, and it's interesting to hear their stories. And I didn't think that this is the worst I've ever seen it. Definitely worst that I've ever seen it. So find a place to give back. In the past, we have donated to KW Cares. That's my, so I'm part of Keller Williams, but KW Cares is a international organization that makes sure gets back to the right people. So, okay. So the fires, yes. Are we concerned? Yes. The areas that are being affected are like, it is a, tragedy. It is devastation. We should remember it. We should know what's going on. Also, yes, we're dealing with smoke. We're dealing with ash. We don't deal with that here. I don't know, but the last count, like the last year, from Hurricane Helene to now these wildfires, I'm just kind of like, all right, Mother Nature, what is going on? We need a break. This stuff just doesn't happen as much here in the upstate. So for you guys that are coming from the West Coast, though, I know that you're a little bit more used to this and what's happening there. So if you have any tips, though, for having to do life with a lot of smoke around, feel free, leave me a comment. Would love to know your tips and tricks, because it's definitely something we don't deal with. I've dealt with it a little bit, but not much. All right, let's go look over in the comments here as we are coming back. So let's see here. It's 8:44. Let's see here. Echo Grove and TR is selling fast now. Have I showed in that neighborhood? You know what? When I'm not sure, we go to the map and I go and I just look up the subdivision. So Echo Grove, here we go. Echo Grove, and let's see what's active right now. 5. Here we go. Contingent, and active. And then you can also see the prices. 614, 618, 630. So what it's looking like, this builder definitely is not putting all of them out here for everybody to see. But this is the back end of the MLS. And this is something that we're going to want to make sure that we look at. Those green dots should be available lots, but at the same time, we don't know. So if you are interested, would love to get in touch, would love to look at it. It does look like it's selling out though pretty fast. All right, let's keep going. Thank you so much. Eric, you should tell us about Gaffney in the comments because we've got some people that are interested. I know that you live out there, so would love to know your thoughts. Oh, geez, Justin, what a question. If you were a couple, early 40s, no kids, where would I go? Oh, man. See, I like being outside and I like community. So it would depend on my price point because if I have a healthy price point, I would, and healthy meaning like 600 to $1 million, I would look downtown Greenville. It's cool, walkable. There's so much to do. Love it. If you're looking like you don't have to have lookable and you're walkable and you're looking like 400 to 600 range, I would be looking in Travelers Rest. I'd look in Greer, Simpsonville. I'd even potentially look in some of the historic neighborhoods of Spartanburg because those neighborhoods are walkable to downtown and there's a lot of things to do in downtown Spartanburg as well. But that's what I would do because I'm not as much of I like being home, but I like to walk. I like to be out and about near things. But I think if that was me, I'd look in Greer, I'd look in Simpsonville, maybe even Fountain Inn. So just to, again, show you here, let's go. Let me pull out here for the map. So Justin, I'm not saying, is it Justine? Justin, gonna have to help me there. Wanting to spend 250-ish, and what part of Greenville would you live in? All right, so I'm sorry if I completely said your name wrong. I would look in Taylor's Fountain Inn. I would also look kind of Malden and Simpsonville, potentially even Piedmont, Powdersville. Those areas. Also, I would not discount this area, the Lyman, Duncan, Inman area. It's right there along the interstate, and it's easy to get places. So, but Taylor's and Greer, definitely. Travelers Rest, if you can find something small, I would definitely do that. John, you're cracking me up. All right, let's keep going. Mark, yes, Dude Wipes. Those are absolutely needed. The brand, Dude Wipes. Let's see here. Diane, you are hitting me with the best questions tonight. Just thank you. Okay, so when you see taxes listed in real estate listings, are those accurate? And do some people pay both county and city taxes? So here's how taxes work. Okay. And I feel like I need to come up with some sort of visual for you. I don't know if this is a good one. So let me come back over here to my listing at 3 Swenson. So if you see right here, which by the way, this house has an open house this weekend. So if you're here, you should go see it. Anyways, see this? Total taxes, $2,489.13. And then you see the 4% tax rate. What that means is that these owners are owner occupants and they have applied for the owner occupant tax rate of 4%. This home specifically, I don't know if they are within Greer city limits. I don't think they are. Those taxes look like they probably are. If they weren't in city limits, they'd probably be below $2,000. But there is a tax rate that is 6%. 6% is the non-owner occupant or an investor rate or a second home rate, a couple different titles to it. But that 6% is going to triple this number. When you see super high taxes, like I'm talking over $3,000-$4,000 in the upstate on taxes, it's because they've got a 6% tax rate. If you are looking to live there as your primary residence, you're going to end up more with taxes that look like this. If you're within city limits and county, So if you're within like Greenville County, but then you're also in Greer city limits or Travelers Rest city limits or just any city limits, your taxes are just going to be higher. They're still not astronomical compared to other places in the country, but that is a good example of that there. Of what taxes look like and how they reflect. And I do think that so those websites that you're seeing, Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, so on, they are pulling from here. They're pulling from like tax websites. So that's how taxes work on real estate here. All right. Let's see here. Susan. Couple in their 50s, no kids, looking for something, 350, 425 range, shopping close by, and parks. Hit me with all the fun questions tonight. Let's do this. Let me pull this out. I am all about the maps because if I can show you a visual, this is what's going to happen. And yes, we're looking at the map for the fourth time. So if I was looking, let's just go build it. Let's see, you said 350 to 450 and shopping close by, single family, active. This is just how all of this works. I know, Paul, the taxes. And yes, it is pretty consistent as far as the tax rate across counties. All right, let's see. Let's go like what, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and let's say a square footage amount in that price range. I want to see a minimum of maybe 1,800, and I like a big house, so I could. Let's see here. Man, there's so much inventory. You see all that? That's nuts. It used not to be like that. So if I was that near shopping, I would go in Malden or Simpsonville. Absolutely. Seeing the amount of inventory that's right over here. So that way I could do all of my shopping. Here, Conisty, Simpsonville, down this way. So kind of this range. Not quite Fountain Inn, not all the way into Greenville, but this area right here gets you close to everything you would need, and you're still not far away from the interstates or getting to places that would help. So hope that helps out, Susan. All right. And, oh, geez, this one too. Is there land to build on in TR about half an acre to an acre? There is. It's probably few and far between. And let's look. So we do this and we're looking for land. So, whenever we do this, we're looking at active properties, residential lots or acreage. And then we're going to look for 0.5 to, we'll give you like upwards of 2 acres here. And we're not going to put in a price range. So let's look. Travelers Rest. There's interesting. Looks like somebody decided to maybe start a house and didn't finish it. Let's see here. Here's some more land. 180, but that's in the cliffs, and I wouldn't probably want you to go there. Where is this? Oh, this is on East Bowers. Okay. So these are residential lots right here off of Jones Kelly Road, both for $135,000. And I would consider those Travelers Rest. But as you can see, there is not much out here. There is some, but this is all considered Marietta. Yeah. So, John, there's just not much there. It's something that we're going to have to look for a while if you want to be in Travelers Rest. Okay, let's keep going. And I think we're getting ready to wrap up for the night. Um, yeah, no Cliffs. So for you guys that don't know, the Cliffs is a higher end community, a luxury community located up in the mountains, right off of 25. There's a couple different Cliffs communities. We've done videos where we've mentioned the Cliffs. We've also showcased a beautiful listing that actually, I think it's still on the market. So it was a $4.5 million house. Let's see here, that we pulled up, and I was like, this thing's beautiful, but it has the best views of any house I've ever actually visited. Let's see here. Let me click on it here. It was this one. This one over here. So many details, the Cliffs Valley. I know this is back end things, which is so fun, but we visited that house. It was cool. You should go check it out. So, anyways, okay. So we just chatted all night. Thanks. Michael put the link to that YouTube video. If you want to go see a Cliffs Valley house, you should go look at it. So anyways, we talked about the fires. Everybody's okay. And we're hopefully getting a whole bunch of rain this weekend. So that was my main thing that I want to talk about. And then real estate tonight. And then John, of course, you're hitting me with a question. Let's go. HOAs with golf courses. Do you have to also become a member of the course if you will not use it? That's a really good question. So the golf course homes that I have been around, and there's a few different courses here in the upstate. A lot of them have memberships that you buy into. You don't automatically have to become a member of the golf course to live on the golf course. So there's a couple of those. Then there's, of course, neighborhoods that you're going to have to, it's part of the HOA. In order to really completely experience and enjoy the neighborhood, you're going to want to be part of the golf community there. Yes, there is a homestead exemption. You have to be 65 years old. If your spouse is 65 years old and you are not quite 65 years old, then you can get a half exemption for your household until both of you have turned 65. And yes, you are correct. Some of them are insanely expensive. Absolutely. So, all right. So anyways, if you guys have noticed, we have this fun little QR code up here, and that is just a direct link to us and our team. And we would love to chat with you if you have any more questions. Either myself or Christy probably will be the ones that reach out to you. And this is what we do. This is what we love. And we're pretty passionate about Greenville and all that it has to offer. We think is a really cool place, and it's definitely not full. So anyways, catch me next week, same time, same place, Thursday, 8:00 with the Greenville GAB. Would love to see you here. We had a great conversation tonight, and I'm excited to continue the conversation. I've got so many things planned, and you guys have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you next week, same time, same place. Bye.